I'm going to take the next 20 minutes and talk to you a little bit about Facebook. And the intent is not to talk about our size or scale, and some of the numbers will be there, but to give you a little bit of insight into how we're approaching the market from a commercial perspective. So I think there's a lot of confusion in the marketplace, and hopefully at the end of this you get a better idea. There's a huge transformation taking place. I don't think this is a surprise to any of you in this room. I do have to sit with large CEOs of big companies, talking about how actually the internet's changing. They don't understand search. Forget about social media and what else is going on. So there's a major transformation going on. And fortunately, we're very much involved in that. I'm going to go through some of this stuff very quickly. Here's some key metrics that I find fascinating. We've become the #2 global site on the internet. 200 billion monthly page views, 250 platform apps, so applications that have over 1 million users. 20,000 sites are using our Connect platform, 300 million, and links to an announcement shortly about that. 1.4 million photos served a second, right? Per second. It's a staggering number, right? 1.6 billion chat messages a day, a bunch of search going on, 6 billion minutes spent every day, and over 2 billion pieces of content served. So what we're trying to say here is that there's a lot going on. It's become a meaningful part of people's lives. The question is, how do we, as commercial entities, start to take advantage of this? Because I remember when Simon said that, right? And I remember sitting there going, right? I was really aggravated with it. But the truth was, at that point, trying to serve banner advertising into Facebook was a waste of time. It just was. Banner advertising, as we knew it, as I knew it at Yahoo, as we all know it at Microsoft and other places, doesn't work in this environment. It doesn't work. Flashing banners designed to interrupt the experience are bad. And consumers just vote with their behavior. This talks about our recent growth. We're pretty pleased with that. This talks about our European framework. In the UK, we've got 22 million is the public number we use. Simon jumped the gun with 24 million. It's the public number we use. Those are active users. That's not Comscore data. That's our actual server data. So those are people that have logged, they have an account, they've logged in, they've done something on Facebook. So it's not someone that's just hit a URL. Half of those folks come back daily. So between 11 and 12 million people come back daily here in the UK. This is what we looked like. I joined in September of 2007 here in London from Yahoo. I remember I looked at kind of the data back then. We didn't have these fancy bubble charts at that point, but I thought we had a pretty good business going at that point. And then I looked at the same numbers earlier this year, and this shows on a relative basis. If you look at these axes, usage days per visitor per month on the left axis. On the bottom, it's reach as a percentage of internet population. And the bubble represents actual time being spent on Facebook. What I think is fascinating is not just Facebook, but the other bigger players are folks like YouTube. So social media is becoming a dominant part of what we do online. I mean, this I'm not sure what MySpace is selling anymore, to be honest with you. I love those guys. But the so a good friend of mine, Owen Benot, is the new CEO over there, and he keeps calling me going, so what's going on? And I'm like, I just won't send you this latest chart. So our model is a pretty simple one. On the far left, we have 3 sales channels. Okay, and this is where I think it's really important. I'll spend a minute or two on the slide. Far left is we have a direct sales organization in the UK run by Stephen Haynes. And his team is calling on the top 25 agencies. Right? They spend a lot of time educating, and a lot of times that reflects the biggest advertisers in the market as well. And they're working with them on a very close basis. They have account execs, they've got account managers. That is an important part. We've established those kinds of teams around the world. So my job is everything outside the US to put those teams in the markets. And we're doing that fairly successfully around the world. The far right-hand side is our online platform, which is a self-service platform. Hundreds of thousands of advertisers today are using that. You go in, anybody can go in, target a campaign, down to very specific data, and I'll show you in a second. They use a credit card to pay for it, and it's very scalable, especially in markets where we might not have a direct sales organization. Turkey, 15 million users. We're probably not going to put a full-time team in that marketplace, but we have 5,000 or 6,000 advertisers today that are targeting the Turkish market. And we're making millions and millions of dollars a month just doing that. In the middle, we have a group we call inside sales. And they're partnering with typically small to mid-sized agencies and technology providers to provide scale, right? So this is where often a lot of the performance-based advertisers and agencies sit. They're very distinct. They all follow the same exact platform, right? So we're not selling at one price point to one group or another price point or one platform or one product to another. We don't differentiate. We consider ourselves very, very open. So that's Trevor Johnson. Trevor, you want to stand up and wave to everybody? He loves this picture, which is why it's up here. He actually thinks it's really cool. Got his Madonna headset on. Very cool. Yeah. I'll embarrass you some more if you want. So what we have done, the reason for this is, when we started as a company, we had a relationship with Microsoft. And that relationship essentially allowed us to scale around the world, because we didn't have, remember, I was the first employee outside the US in 2007. So for us to have businesses in France, Germany, Spain, Italy, even the US and UK, we actually partnered with Microsoft, and they served IAB standard inventory to a percentage of our inventory in each of those given markets. So as of January 1st, that goes away. We just don't think it's necessarily reflective of where we want to go as a business. Microsoft's still a great partner of ours. They're an investor in ours. We're working closely with them on search solutions. Bing is our partner on that side of things. So we still maintain a very close relationship for both of us. We felt that wasn't where we wanted to focus our time and energy.